What's up? What's up? It's your girl, the Queen Scorpion Oshun, back in the building on this Tuesday, I'm just ready for the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm on break at work. So let's get right into this video, y'all. All right. Now, I was asked my opinion on this whole Ciara John Gray situation about her speaking on leveling up, single women and women, period, leveling up. Because, in your marriage, that could be argued. Did you level up before you got married? But we ain't going to get into that right now. First of all, please make sure you support the channel. I get a lot of emails. Thank you all for everyone that sent me emails. Thank you all for your, commentary, respectful comments. I don't mind someone disagreeing, but it's when people want to get disrespectful, and that's when they just get blocked. Simple as that. So I want to jump right in, as I always do. I agree that women should level up in dating. What I mean by that is I agree that if you are a woman of certain intelligence caliber, you carry yourself, a certain way, that you're a good woman, that you try your best. No one is perfect, but you try your best. Why would you date a man that, isn't qualified in certain areas, spiritually, financially, emotionally? We always see, the thing is, when I was growing up, I always thought commitment was about someone being able to be faithful to you. But as I get older and as a woman now, I understand that commitment is not just about a man being able to not cheat on you. Being committed is a man that's there for you. He pick up his phone. If you need him to, you have an illness, you don't have to ask him to come over and bring a soup or a medication or herb or whatever you use to get better. You don't have to beg him to just be proactive in your life. And he pray for you, whatever you believe in. He wars with you in the spirit. He's committed to you on an emotional level. He's emotionally available and emotionally mature. So I think when we speak of dating up, we need to start teaching people, not just women, but we need to start teaching people what real commitment really is, and dating someone that's ready and available. Because if you do not date someone that's ready and available on that level, you're taking on a project. And it took my last situation for me to understand that, because my friend, I tell you, I have a good friend that told me that I was taking on a project. I'm like, no, he's a good man on, basically he was a good man on paper. But it was, and he's not a horrible person. This is not to bash him, but there were some things that was lacking, and I was, quote unquote, dating down, even though he was there on the education. He matched my education. Matter of fact, he has his master's degree. I'm working on mine. You know what I'm saying? So, he had me on that, but the other stuff, I was on a higher level. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to discourage women and say that a man can't get to where you are. The thing is, a man got to be so hungry and working on it himself, or, when you come in, you just put that little sprinkle on it. How y'all see that man that was on that cooking show? He just did his little wrist and his fingers and sprinkled a little salt on it. That's all you pretty much got to do. You add your little extra seasoning, your cinnamon, your garlic powder, your minced garlic, whatever. And it's just all you got to do is like magic, and because he already wanted it. And you just help him, you help further progress him. You know what I'm saying? I agree with Ciara, but I saw an article today and I shared it on my social media. And the person made an excellent point. You know what I'm saying? I don't think every woman was in their feelings about, because Ciara was right, but it's another conversation to be had. It's a flip side to that. And this is where I come in at. This is what my opinion, my 2 cents, this is where I'm at with it. The issue is, if we're supposed to marry people of the opposite sex, that means if women are supposed to marry men, y'all say homosexuality is an abomination, correct? Okay, so for reproductive purposes and all that good stuff, we're supposed to marry men. That's the argument, right? The issue is, if you're not teaching men how to be a good man, how to be a good husband, how to be good husband material before he gets married, or even when he's married, whatever the case is, you are going to be left with the same issues because you're preparing the women, right? Women, you need to do this. You need to look like this. You need to cook like this. You need to sex like this, right? But the man is not being taught from birth or from a young child, or even when he get a teenager, like, look, man, you need to be a husband one day. So you need to learn this. You need to be able to be like this on an emotional level. You need to be like this on a spiritual level, on a financial level, whatever. Y'all get the gist. Women are still going to be left hanging to dry. It's still going to be the same issues because it's like you got a group project, right? And a teacher tell y'all at the end of the day, y'all supposed to complete this project. Y'all gonna get the same grade. You got one partner over here hustling and bustling, doing their part. Then the other person, so one person is supposed to be the reporter, another person is supposed to be the researcher, or whatever they roles are. You got the other person not doing their role. So now the other person got to do the researcher and the reporter role. And because if they don't, they gonna get an F. So women, and I think this is how women are starting to feel like they need to start proposing. Like, you know, the job of the man supposedly is to propose because the men are the hunters, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I hear men try to make, some men, okay, we don't want all of that pressure on us. You know, the man got to pursue, the man got to do this, the man got to be that. But then in the same breath, y'all say, well, women supposed to be this, y'all supposed to do this, y'all supposed to do that. So if you believe that a masculine energy as the giver and the feminine energy as the receiver, you got to pick an argument. You can't say women, y'all want equal rights, y'all want this, but then when we propose in one knee, oh, y'all desperate, y'all this, y'all that. The Bible say a man that findeth a good wife. You know, and then let me say, I agree with John Gray's, I believe I'm saying Pastor Gray's full name correctly. I agree with the video, but this is where I disagreed at. He said that you're not a wife when I give you the ring, you're a wife when I findeth you. Look, that's a whole bunch of confusion right there. Look, that's too confusing. Women, we feeling too much pressure. And I feel the article I read, it was a good argument. Like, it's time for men, period, to stop telling women what we need to be. If it's not a reciprocal thing where men or women are preparing, men are, is able to prepare men and say, look, this is what y'all need to do to land you a wife. And if it's not on a social, societal level where society is saying, men, we want y'all to be good husbands. So if there's no propaganda or no rhetoric that's being spouted to men like it is to women, you got an unequal playing field. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out for either party. It's definitely not going to work out for women, because what you're starting to see is a lot of men saying, I'm fine being single. Now you're starting to see women turn to that way because women are getting tired, period. And I'm not saying that there's not men that's ready to be married and they're having a struggle finding a good woman. I'm saying when you look at the ratio, when you look at the numbers and you're being realistic and not, trying to play the, what's the word? Anyway, you're not trying to play the number game or the word game, and you're being honest about it. Why is the word escaping me? Maybe because it's early in the morning, but it's a word that I'm looking for. Anyhow, y'all, when you're not playing them games and you know what it is, you know that it's more women ready to get married than it is men. And you had the whole Tyrese saying, that video, that interview he did with the Breakfast Club. Oh, you're not ready to be a wife. I was at my lowest time, blah, blah, blah. You ain't ready to be no husband. It's a lot of men that aren't taught. How can you be ready to be a good husband if you're not taught? Now, do I believe you can have the spirit and the willingness to learn? Yes, of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course. I was kind of taught how to be a wife, learning how to cook this, that, and the third, but can't nobody prepare you for certain things. Just like, they could, when I was going to study abroad in school, they made us go to all these meetings and this, that, and the third, but that can help you all them tips, and it did help. Oh, trust, believe. But no one could prepare me for getting on that plane, traveling 12, 13 hours across seas, and being in a Spanish environment and no English lines around, and having to speak Spanish in the bank and the store, everywhere. Okay, no one could prepare me for that entire experience. Really, they could just help me, give me some good tidbits of information. And I think, so my suggestion and my thought process is, we need to start teaching boys and the men the same rhetoric. And it may not look exactly the same because they're men and men are different from women, but we need to start preaching to men. This is what you need to do to be a good husband and to find a good wife. This, not just women. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to look like this to be a good and be found. Look, man, I've been in bye. Look, I done did the celibate thing. I did the abstinent thing. I done did the look good thing. I done did this keep my weight up thing. I done did the, where I'm working on myself, emotionally, making sure I'm not coming off over emotional and things like that. Watching what I say. It's like, when are men going to be held to that same standard? When are men going to be held to that same standard? Like, for real, I just want to know, because it's like, so we going to be prepared. We going to be all ready and then marry a no good. He's still going to be no good Negro at the end of the day, no matter what color, ethnic background he is. He's still going to be no nothing, because he ain't going to be ready emotionally. He ain't going to be ready spiritually. He going to be saying, I still need to get myself together. Ain't nobody got time for that. So all these pastors and people out here preaching to women, start preaching to the men. Please start preaching to the men. That's all I ask. And you will have a more balanced society, and women feeling like they're being heard, and they will be marrying men, not simps. And the definition of a simp is not what y'all think it is. We won't be marrying pansies. We won't be marrying mama boys. We will be marrying men that's ready to be married and ready to be the head of his household, so we can submit to them. You know what I'm saying? If I keep begging my husband or my boyfriend, can you please communicate to me? Can you please communicate to me? Tell me what your feelings are. Tell me what I did wrong. Let's talk about how we can fix it. And they're not, excuse me, I received a phone call, and they're not reciprocating. You keep begging them, and they're like, ain't nothing wrong. I don't really got nothing to say. I don't know what to say. How can you make progress? How long can you keep dealing with that? That man is never going to make a good husband. And we're starting to see more and more of that. Men that got their mamas or their aunties in their lives forever. And you can have some men that's not like that. You can have people that's only children and just selfish, just whatever. It's different scenarios, but it don't even matter what the scenario is. If you want women to continue to follow your rhetoric, your propaganda, and keep getting married and marrying men, y'all need to create more men. The church needs to produce more men, especially quality men, not men that's low-key heterosexual, not men that think it's okay to be whores and whores and whores. We need to start talking about these things. We need to stop excusing one behavior, but getting on the other one. It's called favoritism. You know what I'm saying? It's real. It is what it is. And it's not about women being whiny or complaining, but it's the simple fact, like, how we going to produce healthy relationships. It's going to be toxic because one person is giving and the other person just receiving, taking, but they're not really giving. And when they do give, it's only in the beginning. And in the end, they can't even be consistent. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Email me at scorpionoshun@gmail.com. Please share this with share this with your friends. I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.